The timeline of the Predator universe is messier than the remains of a Yautja hunt. So strap in, because we're going through the whole convoluted story, from the golden age of piracy to the Badlands of the future. If you take the Predator movies chronologically, 2022's Prey portrays the first live-action altercation between humans and predators. But technically, we should start with the comic story Predator 1718, which takes place a year before the events of Prey and sort of epitomizes what you can expect from any attempt at cohesion in the Predator canon. Part of the anthology A Decade of Dark Horse, Predator 1718 focuses on pirate captain Rafael Adolini, a name superfans of the franchise probably recognize. While anchored just off of Papua New Guinea, Adolini faces a mutiny after he announces his plans to return stolen treasure to the church it was taken from. Noticing the ensuing battle, a predator, or Yautja as they're known, makes its way to the ship and joins forces with Adolini so that it can then best him in single combat. After the crew is defeated, the two prepare to battle when a survivor cowardly shoots his captain in the back. To thank the alien warrior for fighting alongside him, Adolini rewards him with a flintlock pistol that bears his name, the same pistol that was given to Mike Harrigan in Predator 2 several centuries later. Oddly enough, the name on the pistol in the comic is spelled differently, which may be part of why Prey retconned the entire thing. Prey is a prequel to the Predator franchise that takes place in 1719, hundreds of years before most of the other action in the series. It follows Naru, a healer in the Comanche tribe of the Great Plains, who has aspirations of becoming a strong hunter like her brother. Hell-bent on proving her worth, she joins her brother in hunting a mountain lion that has injured several members of the tribe. However, they soon realize that the big cat isn't the only deadly threat lurking in the shadows. The previously unseen predator begins killing animals and humans, leading Naru to try and track it down. She comes out victorious in the end by luring the predator to a bog, where she's able to kill it with its own technology and return triumphantly to her tribe with its head. She also brings another souvenir, Rafael Adolini's pistol. In Prey, Rafael Adolini isn't a pirate. He's a translator who's working alongside the French fur trappers. He gives Naru the pistol before the predator kills him.
Help me, and I'll show you how to use it. Please.
Obviously, two Rafael Adolinis running around the world of Predator 1 year apart with identical flintlock pistols is too much of a coincidence, even for a sci-fi monster story. So it's safe to assume that the comic book story is no longer canon. Even so, how did the Predator from Predator 2 come to have a pistol in its possession when it was last seen with Naru's tribe? It's possible that, as the credit animations show, additional Predators arrived to reclaim the remains of the fallen warrior. Whether they killed the whole tribe or accepted the pistol as a gift from the elders is a matter of pure speculation, but chances are it was a gift. Not much honor in wholesale slaughter. Before things get too complicated with speculation and retcons, let's fast forward about 250 years to 1987. The first Predator film sees U.S. Special Operations Forces veteran Major Alan Dutch Schaefer lead a group of highly trained commandos and an old friend from the CIA on a dangerous mission in Central America. After a successful mission, the group learns that they're being stalked by someone, or something, on their way to their extraction point. One by one, the creature picks off Dutch's men, who are simply no match for their bigger, stronger, and more technologically advanced opponent. However, the armor starts to crack when Dutch watches the creature ignore their unarmed female captive and realizes that the creature seems to be hunting for sport.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Dutch instructs her to head to the chopper unarmed while he hangs back. When he's knocked into the mudbank of a river, he further realizes that the predator relies on heat signatures to track its prey, and his is now masked because of the mud. Armed with that knowledge and a few makeshift traps, he engages the creature once more. Through a series of clever strikes and brute force, Dutch is able to damage the predator, who takes off its mask in an apparent show of respect, giving audiences the first look at what would become an iconic sight.
You one ugly mother.
In their final confrontation, Dutch manages to mortally wound the creature, forcing it to set off a self-destruct bomb to eliminate any trace of its failed hunt. The Predators returned years later in 1990's Predator 2, Set in 1997 in an urban Los Angeles racked by gang wars and suffering through a brutal heat wave, the film follows Police Lieutenant Michael R. Harrigan, whose case gets taken over by a federal task force. He doesn't realize it at first, but they're actually in LA on the trail of an extraterrestrial threat.
That's right, Lieutenant. Otherworld life forms.
Huh?
Alien.
Agent Peter Keyes informs him that the U.S. government is well aware of the predators, and the bout with Dutch and Central America was only one in a string of encounters in combat zones. They know the creatures hunt for sport and often take trophies after successful hunts. The feds set up a trap for the predator at a slaughterhouse where they've tracked the alien feeding every few days.
Seems he has a taste for beef.
I didn't think he was vegetarian.
Keyes' team goes into the warehouse in special suits designed to mask their heat signatures, and, thinking they've got the upper hand on that dumb alien, spring the trap. However, the predator switches to a different view on his helmet and tracks their flashlights. Surprise, surprise, everyone dies but Harrigan.
You are one ugly mother.
Eventually, Harrigan chases the predator to its ship and engages it in single combat. After he scores a narrow win, several more predators uncloak themselves and collect their dead comrade's body. They present Harrigan with Raphael Attolini's pistol as a trophy for besting their champion.
Take it.
Then they allow him to leave the ship unharmed before they take off from the planet. This is the movie that famously put a xenomorph skull from the Alien franchise in the Predator's ship, which is where the timeline starts to get a little cluttered. Around the same time Predator 2 was released, Fox, which owned the Alien franchise as well as the Predator movies, licensed a series of crossover comics tie-ins that eventually led to the 2004 film Alien vs. Predator. That movie revealed that the Predator species arrived in ancient times and helped humans construct the pyramids. In exchange, the people provided sacrifices as hosts for the xenomorphs so that the Predators could routinely return to Earth to hunt them every 100 years. The main story picks up in 2004, when a group of scientists, led by industrial tycoon Charles Bishop Weyland, arrives in Antarctica to investigate an underground pyramid some 2,000 feet beneath the ice. At the same time, a trio of predators arrive at the entrance to the pyramid. By the time Weyland's team realizes that the predators only allowed them to find the pyramid so they could become hosts for xenomorphs to spawn in, it's too late.
You ugly son of a bitch!
The humans, in turn, botched the Predator's plans by taking the shoulder cannons that were supposed to be used for the bug hunt. That triggers the pyramid to reconfigure and awaken the Queen before the Predators intended, leading to way more aliens than they expected to face. As a result, 2 of the 3 predators sent on the 2004 hunt die pretty quickly. The third one manages to eradicate this century's xenomorph threat by befriending a tough-as-nails woman named Alexa Woods, but it succumbs to its injuries shortly after battling the Queen. A bunch of predators who'd been watching all this go down then show up and give her a weapon as a trophy and leave with their fallen comrade. However, as soon as they leave the dead predator alone, a predator-xenomorph hybrid emerges from its chest to terrorize the ship full of hunters. The movie, though not well received, provides perhaps the biggest glimpse into the culture and the purpose of the predators in the film universe, with the reveal that they've been visiting Earth for thousands of years, and they've purposefully allowed the xenomorphs to spread across the galaxy, which, like pirate captain Raphael Attolini, may or may not be canon, but we'll get to that. Aliens vs. Predator, Requiem, picks up right after the events of AVP. With a hybrid alien predator called a Predalien on board, the ship doesn't last long and crash lands in Colorado. A lone survivor sends a signal to the Predator homeworld, warning them that the xenomorph threat persists, leading a hunter to go to Earth and eliminate them. Unfortunately, the sequel focuses heavily on the members of the small Colorado town where the Predator and the Predalien have their conflict and doesn't do much to further the story of the species. The movie concludes with the Predator facing off against the Predalien in single combat. Both of them inflict mortal wounds on the other before the government drops a tactical nuke on the small town that's now overrun with aliens. The film ends with one of the Predator's weapons falling into the hands of Weyland's corporate partner, Ms. Yutani, who declares that the world simply isn't ready for this kind of technology to be unleashed on human beings. Forget whether any of the hundreds of comics count as canon. There's even an ongoing debate over whether the Alien vs. Predator movies count as canon. Have we said that this franchise is convoluted? When Ridley Scott returned to the Alien franchise for the prequels Prometheus and Alien Covenant, he ignored the AVP story of the xenomorphs, but the Predator franchise seemed unaffected by that and made winks to the crossover films as late as 2018's The Predator. The 2005 video game, Predator: Concrete Jungle, also alludes to Alien vs. Predator, as well as the larger Alien franchise.
You think I'd let you sell Mother to some faceless corporation like Yutani?
Well, what about Wayland? You were friends with Charles Wayland before he disappeared.
Charles Wayland, played by Lance Henriksen in AVP, did indeed disappear on a secretive mission to Antarctica, by way of death, which would have seemed like a disappearance to anyone who wasn't in the know. Meanwhile, Mother is an even deeper reference. In the game, it's the computer that controls the futuristic city of Neapolis. In 1979's Alien, it's the name of the AI that controls the Nostromo, a ship owned by the Weyland-Yutani Corporation. Basically, Predators have a storied history in comic books and other extended material, and the Alien crossovers make up a big part of that history. Regardless of the disagreement over whether the films actually happened in each respective universe, since the people brushing off the crossover movies are the ones behind Alien and not the ones behind Predator, they definitely count for our purposes here. Back to what's definitely canon. The Predator is set days before Halloween in 2018 and kicks off as a group of soldiers is attacked by a predator during a mission on foreign soil. U.S. Army Ranger Quinn McKenna manages to survive and mail himself some of the creature's armor in order to prove that he actually saw what he saw. He's debriefed and held captive with a ragtag group of other soldiers while the Predator gets taken to a lab.
You're one beautiful mother.
Of course, when that big fella wakes up, it's really angry to find itself in a government lab. It escapes, prompting the soldiers to commandeer a prison bus and set off on a mission to retrieve the mailed armor. When they arrive at McKenna's house, they find his son took the armor to wear as a makeshift Halloween costume. With the Predator and a couple of never-before-seen Predator hounds on their tail, they manage to retrieve the armor. But just as the Predator catches up to them to take back the tech, a larger Predator suddenly shows up and kills the first. This new, beastly-looking alien is the product of the species collecting DNA of other species to create stronger hybrids. While The Predator may seem like another action-packed romp filled with soldiers battling the galaxy's most worthwhile hunters, the film holds a much stronger canonical connection than that.
Did you not see the new Predator? It's evolving.
Not only does it reveal that predators are hybridizing themselves by using human and other DNA, but it sets the groundwork for a potential war. It's theorized in the film that, because predators like a warm climate, global warming is hurling Earth toward becoming the most attractive new hotspot for invasion. It also turns out that the original predator that attacked McKenna and his gang had human DNA, and was delivering a mysterious package to humanity. The film ends with McKenna and a group of scientists realizing that the package the Predator delivered was meant to help them. Inside is a suit designed to fit on a human body, one that looks like it's made for the specific purpose of combating predators. With that gift, humanity is now prepared to fight predators when they come a-hunting.
That's my new suit, Bubba. Hope they got in it for too long.
Will any of that come to fruition? It's hard to say. The 2018 film wasn't exactly beloved by fans, and the franchise has since gone in a slightly new direction with the prequel, Prey. So there's no telling whether a war between predators and predator-suited humans will ever make it to the big screen. 2010's Predators arguably arrives last chronologically in the film series. It's unclear specifically what year Predators takes place, but it's apparently after the 2018 adventure. The story begins when a group of skilled fighters from all around the world wake up to find themselves in an unfamiliar jungle staring up at an alien sky. After a few encounters with aggressive alien lifeforms, they start to realize the truth.
This planet is a game preserve. And we're the game.
Their theory is proven right when they discover a madman who has survived on the new planet by scavenging and hiding. He also reveals that there is a blood feud between the normal-looking predators that fans have seen in the previous movies and new, larger predators. One can deduce that the predator's DNA splicing eventually went awry, causing a rift among the species. While it seems that the predators use the game preserve to sharpen their hunting skills, it's also possible that the technology brought to Earth and the predator made it so the planet is no longer a viable hunting ground, which clearly hasn't stopped them from bringing the hunt to their own turf. Sadly, although 2 members of the party defeat the monsters, they fail in their mission to get off the planet and get back home to safety. As a result, no one on Earth knows about this new strategy of kidnapping humans to hunt off-planet. The new type of Yautja introduced in Predators is clearly larger and more powerful than the original variants. Known as super predators, they have a feud with the other predators and seemingly want to wipe them out, since the super predators believe themselves to be the superior members of the Yautja species. But to get their whole story, you have to actually go outside of the main film. As part of the promotion for the 2010 film, 20th Century Fox created a number of short films that provide some extra backstory to the super predators, as well as the human characters of Predators. Moments of Extraction is a motion comic that follows the events leading up to the kidnapping of 4 of the characters in Predators and explores who they were on Earth. Bookending the short film is narration from Nolan, the survivor the group encounters on the Game Preserve planet.
You hear the rumble of the ships? You know that things are gonna get really interesting.
More relevant to the Predator's story is the motion comic Crucified, in which we see how the crucified Predator, who is attached to the totem in Predators, was caught, with the story suggesting that the super predators are intent on killing what they feel are inferior variants of their species.
The larger ones hunt the smaller ones. It's some kind of blood feud, I guess, been going on for a long time.
Although it was not technically the first release to show infighting between different predators, the limited comic series Predator Bad Blood, released in the early 90s, did help to solidify the concept before later installments arrived. Evan Dorkin wrote the 4-part series, which follows a criminal predator in New Jersey who goes on a killing spree. Unlike other Yautja, this individual is a mindless killer who brutally murders for no reason. The story even reveals it has taken the lives of several other predators before arriving on Earth. Having broken the Yautja honor code and disgraced itself, the rogue predator is pursued by an enforcer predator, whose sole purpose is to destroy the menace. However, it is not the only pursuer of the Bad Blood predator. A CIA task force wants to capture the alien to acquire its technology, while a group of former agents sets out to kill the predator before it can cause more carnage. Ultimately, Predator Bad Blood has had a lasting effect on the franchise, and some of the ideas it introduced, like conflicts within Yautja society and enforcers tracking rogue hunters, went on to inform the events in Predators and The Predator. Over the years, the Predator series has continued to expand to the point that there have now been several different types of Yautja shown on page and screen. Starting with the original classic Jungle Hunter Predator from the 1987 movie, the species has gradually been shown to be incredibly diverse. No 2 Yautja are identical in size, shape, and personality. The form shown in Predator provides a basic outline of what you can expect from these hunters, but there are some distinctive variations across all manner of films and comics. Predator 2 first introduced new versions of the familiar Yautja form. Alien vs. Predator went on to showcase an older elder predator that is larger and more powerful than other members of its species. The crossovers also introduced the Predalien, a morphing of a xenomorph and predator that shares traits of both species. Later entries in the franchise really got into the weeds with the extra-large super predators and various hybrid predators. The 2022 film Prey also presented fans with a new type of predator that is more primitive than the ones seen in other installments, using tools and equipment that are not quite as advanced. Director Dan Trachtenberg explained that the design for this so-called feral predator was sort of a different subspecies, telling comicbook.com that he's from a different hemisphere of the planet and a little bit of a different breed. Concept designer Michael Vincent expanded on that when he wrote on X, "Genetic isolation with different environmental pressures yields a variant of Yautja." So what is this planet? The Predator's homeworld is a planet called Yautja Prime, which contains varied biomes much like Earth. Forest and desert being 2 of the known ones. They're obviously advanced enough to be spacefaring, and their culture is evidently based on their hunting rituals. Young predators who have yet to kill their first xenomorph are unblooded, while successful hunters are blooded and more highly regarded.
Ancient warriors would mark themselves with the blood of their kill. It's a rite of passage.
Several of the Predator novels over the years went even further into the species' history to their ancestors. The Hish-Qu-Ten, a more primitive species that modeled their ritualistic hunting culture on the combat games they were forced to compete in as slaves, to an even more advanced species. Even their name isn't usually known to the human characters in the films. The species' real name is, of course, Yautja. Predator is just what humans call them.
Well, we took a vote. Predator's cooler, right?
Is any of this relevant? It doesn't necessarily pertain to the films, which are all framed from the human's point of view and don't dive too deep into Yautja history, with the exception of Alien vs. Predator's helpful explanation man.
Only the chosen ones may enter. This is the sacrificial chamber. They've been sent here to prove that they're worthy to become adults.
Normally, though, the humans are too busy running for their lives to chat about anthropology, but with the franchise far from dead and going in new directions, it does give some narrative flavor to the lives and motivations behind these extraterrestrial hunters. What little humans do know about predators typically comes from government or military intelligence, particularly the Otherworldly Life Forms Program, or OWLF for short. While the group is briefly mentioned in Predator 2, its exact purpose and mission were never revealed. It wasn't until the release of the video game, Predator Hunting Grounds, and its prequel novel, Predator Stalking Shadows, that more light was shed on the OWLF and what it does. The game sees 4 experienced fighters work together to fight against a single predator in remote locations around the world. Little is revealed in terms of the plot, as Predator Hunting Grounds is a multiplayer title, but the game features the OWLF in a supporting role. It's the 2020 tie-in novel by James A. Moore and Mark Morris that really examines the organization. Meant to bridge the gap between Predator 2 and the game, the book Predator Stalking Shadows follows Dutch and Sean Keyes, the son of Peter Keyes and a significant agent within OWLF. It is revealed throughout the novel that the group aims to capture a live predator and also take control of the advanced technology and weapons for use by the US government. The OWLF was disbanded in 2016 and replaced by Project Stargazer sometime before 2018, only for that organization to be shuttered for greed and incompetence, ushering in the return of the OWLF. Bureaucracy. Am I right? Placing the individual stories of Hulu's semi-anthology Killer of Killers on the main Predator timeline is easy. Placing the overall structure of the movie is, well, a little harder. There have always been hints that predators have taken on some of Earth's greatest warriors in the past, and Killer of Killers dives into 3 specific times that happened, all wrapped up in some surprisingly affecting stories of those heroes' lives. The first drops us into frozen Scandinavia, circa 841. An aging, battle-worn warrior known as Ursa successfully leads her tribe in an assault on a rival warlord who killed her father decades earlier. Watching it all go down is the Brute Predator, dubbed the Swole Predator on the cooler discussion boards, a hulking Yautja who waits until the bloodshed is done before uncloaking and going on his own rampage. In Japan, in the year 1629, 2 estranged brothers reignite a 20-year-old duel that is interrupted by the Ninja Predator. Faced with this strange new threat, the brothers put aside their differences and mount a dual-pronged attack on the demon. Only one brother, Kenji, survives that battle. Fast forwarding to World War II, the third vignette focuses on John Torres, a pilot of a decrepit warplane whose brothers-in-arms are attacked by an advanced Predator ship. After a harrowing aerial battle over the Atlantic, Torres finally manages to send the ship to a watery grave. It's a sweet victory until he's abducted at his home later. And that's where things get really interesting. Here's where Killer of Killers takes a sharp left turn and delivers its most intriguing twist. At the end of each of the 3 stories, we briefly see the heroes in some sort of futuristic holding cell with containment collars locked around their necks. It turns out that, after displaying unmatched skill in battle, the Predators kidnap them all and put them into suspended animation to be given the ultimate test, and even more ultimately, give the Predators the ultimate test. Ursa, Kenji, and Torres are all delivered to a barren planet that seems to have only one purpose: to be a proving ground for the best warrior, the Killer of Killers.
What the hell?
This head honcho Yautja, the warlord predator, tells them to fight to the death, with the winner of that fight going on to fight him. We won't spoil everything about that fight, but it takes multiple twists and turns. Involves a badass predator gorilla Oliphant monster, and the realization that teamwork is the only way out of this pickle. In the climax, Ursa sacrifices herself so that the other 2 can make a nail-biting escape from the battle planet and the Predator's own ship. As the movie ends, Ursa is still a captive of the Predators, who've sent a fleet after Torres and Kenji to hunt them down. But wait, that's not the end. In a mid-credits scene, we get the biggest twist of all. The victorious heroes of Predator films past have also been abducted and put into cryosleep. Dutch, Harrigan, Naru, they're all there, along with hundreds of others, at a very conservative guess. Even given the franchise's wild history, it's exciting to see it barreling forward in ways that nobody expected, and stepping foot into some very bad lands. Seriously, we're not joking when we say unexpected. Predator Badlands, the newest installment in the franchise, sees a Yautja warrior as the protagonist. Yeah, you heard that right. His name is Dek, and he's the runt of his clan on Yautja Prime. In fact, he's such a disappointing specimen that his own father decides he needs to die. Pretty harsh, but hey, that's Yautja culture for you. After Dek's brother saves him from death and dies instead, Dek makes an escape to Jenna, also known as the Death Planet. Why does he go to such a place? To kill the most ridiculous creature there and redeem himself, of course. The creature, known as a Kalisk, is no joke. Even Dek's father is afraid of the thing. The planet itself is also nothing to scoff at. Literally everything there, including the plants, wants to make quick work of Dek. Luckily for him, he runs across a Weyland-Yutani synthetic named Thea, who's lost her bottom half during a run-in with the Kalisk. Turns out her entire team was destroyed. Well, everyone except for her and Tessa, who is basically her evil twin. Though he isn't into the idea at first, he agrees to help her get her legs back in exchange for her helping him find the Kalisk and defeat it. Along the way, they come across a little alien creature that proves to be quite useful. Plus, it really takes a liking to Dek. Enough of a liking to spit on him and mark him as family for life. Aww, Thea decides to name her Bud. It's when the gang actually comes across the Kalisk that we learn what's really going on. Turns out, the reason the Kalisk is so feared is because it can just regenerate after being sliced to bits. Pretty crazy. It also turns out that Thea and the other synthetics were sent to Jenna to capture the Kalisk and use it to create and market a super drug that will benefit the human race. Oh, and the Kalisk is also Bud's mother. This is why it doesn't kill Dek when it overpowers him and gets a sniff of him before it goes and bites his head off. Being that Dek is sorta in their way, Tessa and her goons capture him alongside Thea and the Kalisk in hopes of using him in some way as well. But he finds a way to escape and devises a plan to save Thea and Bud's mother, with the help of Bud, of course. Dek and Bud infiltrate their little compound with ease and help free Thea, who finally gets her legs back. They go on to kill all the synthetics, including Tessa, but not before Thea's evil twin ends up killing the Kalisk. Bummer for Bud, but it's fine. She's found a new family in Dek and Thea. The movie ends with Bud and Thea traveling to Yautja Prime with Dek so that he can kill his father. After he does this, Dek's mother shows up in a spaceship on the horizon. Looks like things are about to get even more interesting whenever the next installment drops.